Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Smyrna Beer Board. Today is March the 2nd at 5 o'clock, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing, if everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. Scott Maddock.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any citizens' comments this evening? Everybody had a chance to review and approve, or review the minutes from the last meeting, anything that needed to be changed?
Make a motion, we approve as is.
I second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We have some old business tonight. J. Lo Tacos, is there someone here to represent? Okay. You could step to the podium or recess for a public hearing. If you could state your name for the record, please.
Lourdes Bello.
All right. And last month, we determined that you were the owner of the property. Basically, there was a distance requirement that we wanted them to go back out and remeasure to see if we could get you some extra footage to approve the permit. Council, did that come back?
Yes, and I actually personally went out and utilized the laser with Sergeant Miller. And unfortunately, the distance that we came up with was even shorter than the distance that's listed by codes. Codes, I believe, has 499, and we came up with 488 on the distance between closest point to closest point. As you know, we wanted to ensure, because by the looks of what we had from the codes department, which is done computerized, looked like maybe it was only 1 foot, so we wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt if that was the case. But however, when we went out and tried each angle that we could try, and 488 was the number, the highest number that we found.
I was there with him, and one point it's 526, remember? And the other point is...
That was at the other section of the building, but
it's no...
he can testify if you wanted to, but we were looking to see, you're familiar with the property out there, where the spring house is. You have the old part of the building that was you've got like where you drive, the canopy where you drive under. And then you have the brick side, which is the closest point there, and it's all part of the church. So we were looking to see, which direction. However, it goes by the closest point, not the furthest point.
So did you measure from that back corner of the church to the front corner of their establishment?
Yes, front right corner of, if you're standing at their place and looking forward towards Rock Springs, that far right corner to the closest left corner that you have coming towards you from the church.
So is there anything that can be done to make it maybe work?
Short of really the ordinance being
change.
changed by the town council, I believe not. Am I correct, Counselor?
Correct. And we even looked at the last place did not have a beer license. They might have sold beer, but they did not have a license to do so, or permit to do so.
Can she go to the board, like a board meeting, and petition the board? Or?
She can, and definitely, it's the town council
Yes.
sets the distance requirements. As you know, they could sell off premise, they would be fine. For 250 feet, they would have more than enough room to do that. And they can have BYOB, because we do not regulate BYOB there, so they could do that as well.
You know what that
But-
BYOB?
No.
That means your customers can bring their own alcohol in.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's customary that they charge like a
I have
A
another
corking fee.
question.
Corking
It's
fee,
another
yeah.
way to measure, because it's laser, they do like 6 times, and all measure is different, like he does. So.
Well, the laser,
I think they can use it another more efficient measure
Well, I mean, I would say the laser is probably the most efficient. I mean, you can't go out there and just take and walk it off stepwise because that's not accurate. You know what I mean? It's based on footage and that sort of thing. So I think the laser is the most accurate way to measure the building because you're out there with the laser physically going from your point to the closest point of the other building. Now it changes because that laser point can hit different marks within a couple inches. You see what I'm saying? So unfortunately, that would be the most accurate way to measure would be the laser.
Another way to do it, like, we can move the wall, like, one corner, we can take.
Yeah, if you would stand up and give your name, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
State your name for the record, please.
Jorge Mata. I'm
sorry.
the contractor for here, right there. And I try to help to do this because it's good to people have jobs here and more jobs and, you know. So whatever you're thinking and I can do there to get this more.
Well, no, he measured and said that it was 488 feet.
Yes, when I went out there to personally witness it being used, it was 488.
So if he were to, like he said, manipulate the building and move the wall 12 feet,
I can do that.
But yeah, I mean, he's not prohibited from ever having it. It's just, he's got to meet the distance requirements.
Right.
So if that wall wasn't there and it was back the amount of feet that he needed, then sure, he would be in compliance then if it was 500 feet. So, and I want you to understand, I went out there because I didn't want it to be punitive against you. I wanted to make sure to give you that ability to challenge what Codes Department had done over a computer to see if they were off. But unfortunately,
I honest with you,
it
I
was too
measured
negative.
with tape and you have more than 500 there. That's what I know
well,
what I discussed
you went out
with
and measured with a tape. You can't go across the
We
road
did
during
it.
traffic
We did
and
it.
measure.
We did it.
Mm.
And then,
If-
you know that when you put the other side of the wall, the measure is good. When you put the other side, it's something.
but it's got to be the closest wall,
Mhm.
closest point to closest point.
So
it's
if you're
not just
looking
the
at your
wall.
establishment, that left-hand
It's
side.
okay if you move
needs
that
to-
wall. I can move it.
So you're gonna move the wall out
Yeah,
12
I can put
feet?
it. I can move it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then would they reapply or would we?
They would reapply. That's going to be a good while before I'm sure they can have that.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, give it a shot.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, to
I want this
recap,
work.
No, yeah, I get you.
to recap, you've got some options, right? You can move the wall. That's on, your decision. You would have to reapply. We would come back out and measure. So that's your option. You can do the BYOB, which we don't give you a license for, but that's your option as well. And you can do like the corking fee. Or you can do neither, and you can, of course, go in front of the town council. But those are your three options. But for today, because the 488 feet, what was measured, that's where we are for today. But you do have those three options.
Okay.
Anybody got any further questions or comments?
No.
Okay. If you guys can take a seat, I'll call the meeting back into order. Ask the board for a motion.
I make a motion that we move the beer permit request to the next, I don't know if it would be ready by the next month's meeting, but,
Move it
For
or
that?
do they have to
or
reapply
just
completely?
reapply.
You can make whatever motion you want to make.
I've got a motion to move it back till the next month's meeting to see if they can meet the distance requirements then.
All right. Second? I mean,
I've got a
I mean,
motion.
the question is, if I move the wall and I don't need it,
and you'll have it ready in a month.
but I can do it in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. Then I second.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Motion carries to move it to next month's meeting. All right, new business tonight. Is it Nimry Market? Is there anyone here to represent?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you can step to the podium, we'll recess for a public hearing. Please state your name for the record.
Nabil Al Nimri.
And are you the owner of the market?
Yes.
Have you owned a establishment before where you sold beer?
No.
So this is your first
Yeah,
ownership?
yeah.
Okay. And you've read the
town of Smyrna laws and regulations for the sale of beer?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to approach?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Like
please
this.
do and state your name.
State
Yeah.
Marwan Al-Nimri, his brother.
How many employees do you intend on having at the market?
Just me.
Just you.
No other managers?
No.
No? Okay. Does your cash register require you, if you go to sell, is it a scan system or do you just key it in?
Key.
It's just a key?
Yeah.
Okay, does it require you to log in the date of birth when you purchase or sell beer to anybody?
No.
No? Okay. If Chairman Fry walked into your establishment, this fine gentleman right here, would you ask him for his ID?
Yes, sir.
Good answer. Especially with him. So first foray into the, you've never owned before, have you
No, sir.
worked in a market like this before?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had any issues with selling beers to minors? Have you ever had an infraction or been cited or arrested at any point for it? No? Okay.
Any further questions? You guys can take a seat. I'll call the meeting back into order and ask the board for a motion.
Make a motion, we approve as is.
A second?
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. You can pick up your permit tomorrow at 10 a.m. Out front. At this point, I'd like to open the floor to any other, excuse me, any other new business. Reports of officers, committee, or staff?
No reports.
All right. I'd like to set the next beer board meeting then for April 6th at 5 p.m. And I'd also like to thank Molly Jennings for her volunteering for the beer board tonight. Will be her last meeting with us, and we hate to see her go. But she's served us very well, so thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Mr. Fry.
8 years.
Years.
A long time.
Ask the board for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Everyone have a great night. Thank you.